It's no secret that I love Star Wars. I've been a fan ever since I saw The Phantom Menace on VHS at the ripe age of 6, and I've consumed almost every piece of media I can get my grubby little hands on. Games, movies, collectibles, you name it, and I have enjoyed most of it, and despite popular belief, I have not read any of the books because I can't read. But the comics are cool. Those are good. Plus, they have pictures, so that's half the battle done. Anyway, I figured since today is May the 4th, and I've started to consistently upload again, I'd give y'all a room tour / show y'all my favorite Star Wars stuff I've got. Also, if you're wondering about the helmet, no, I sadly do not own a motorcycle. It's for an ATV at my cottage. It's about 30 years old, and I decided to paint over it. And in a way to both hide my face because I'm self-conscious and not do a face reveal yet, I'm going to have it on for the duration of the video. So let's get into it, I guess. First is my Darth Raven statue I got from GameStop about a year ago. I picked this up with my buddy Nadil after going to one of the new LEGO releases, and I was lucky enough to have enough cash to buy it. So that basically means I got it for free. I haven't played the original Knights of the Old Republic games, but the trailer from a few years ago inspired me to look into the character, and he's just so cool, man. The different colored lightsabers, the cool mask, and the edgy energy just makes him a sick-ass character. Not to mention he falls into what I like to call the improv appeal requirements. Some of my friends IRL know what that means, but for those of you who don't, I'll fill you in. Basically, this chart is my personal qualification, stereotypical traits that the characters I like tend to have. These being either cool mask, edgy, cool weapons, or robot. I'll give you some examples. We got Pathfinder, Reaper, Darth Revan, of course, Spartans, Soundwave, and any Mandalorian. Pretty consistent, right? Anyway, my next impulse purchase is the LEGO UCS Star Destroyer. This absolute beast came from a locally run LEGO store, as in it's not branded by LEGO, it's just like some guy that I know that runs it, and I picked it up for around $200. Now, if you're a LEGO collector like me, you'd know that's a hell of a good deal, as this thing retailed for around $1,000 before it retired last year, but since I already had around $300 in store credit, it ended up being $200 and came assembled. It was a bit of a stressful drive home with that unit in the back, but it was mostly in one piece, and I have one of the best LEGO sets ever made on display, and I love it to death. Keeping on the trend of LEGO, I made a few custom displays to keep on my desk. Both of these displays were completely made by me, with the addition of some custom and vanilla LEGO figures, and I think they're sick. They weren't too hard to make, and it's a good way to keep track of some of my favorite figures and keep them on display in a somewhat interesting way rather than have some black plates just set up for them to stand on. It's a cool setup that works well with the large light I have in the background as well as the other sets on my desk. Now, sounding like a bit of a hypocrite here are some of my favorite and most valuable LEGO figures. They're some of the coolest figs in my opinion, and I got these cool little shelves from Dollarama, which is just the Canadian version of a Dollar General or cheap stuff store. And after staining them black to help blend in with some of my other shelves, I thought they would make
fine addition to my collection.
And yeah, it's just a good way to have some of the cooler figures I own on display. Plus it keeps them out of the bin and a little more organized. Now, without this turning into purely a LEGO showcase video, here's some of my Black Series figures. These are some 6-inch Star Wars figures that have released over the years, that of course fall into the improv requirements that I mentioned before. The assortment of troopers along with the retired General Grievous is just so fucking sick. I know some people are going to think it's blasphemy that I have them out of the box, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. They're cool. I want to make them do cool poses and shit, so they're going to chill out of the box. This little guy is probably my favorite out of all the stuff I've said so far, and it's my Clone Trooper piggy bank. I got this guy from an antique store a few months ago, and after a lot of scrubbing with a magic eraser, I got it looking pretty good. I don't use cash very often, but at least now when I do or return my alcohol bottles for the deposit money, I got a spot for it. Next, back on the LEGO train is my UCS Republic gunship. I got this as a gift for my 18th birthday, and it has not moved since I finished it because I am terrified to move it. One of the biggest problems I have is dusting. I know, first world problem, my LEGO bedroom, whatever. I gotta take like everything off, dust it down, and then put it back, but I am so paranoid of dropping this thing and having to spend another week rebuilding it. I have not cleaned the thing in like 2 years. I'll get around to it eventually, maybe, but I have genuinely no idea how I'm going to without super gluing it down to the bookshelf so it won't move. Next is my little boy known as BD1. I'm a pretty big fan of the Jedi series of games, as I've purchased the first one about 3 times on multiple platforms, and I've finally gotten around to the sequel, which I'll be playing on Twitch in the next few days. Shameless plug, link in the description. Now, to my knowledge, this is the only Jedi series set that LEGO has made as of now. I know there's speculation that Cal Kestis, the main character, is going to be a special edition figure for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars, but for now, this is the only one, so I just had to pick it up. Not to mention, my lovely girlfriend helped me build it, so there's that little bit of extra love put into it. Now, this next part is kind of like a section, I guess. I like to call it the stack. It's basically a set of shelves with a bunch of displays of armies and different factions from movies and TV shows. Even some sequel stuff, despite my hatred for J.J. Abrams. It's a nice spot to put out some smaller sets and figure collections that I think are pretty cool. And I also didn't have the effort to make another diorama for. So, there's that. Last but not least is my custom minifigures I've made over the years. These were some decals and printed figs I've collected of characters with either different prints or characters that haven't been made by LEGO officially. They weren't too hard to make. I think they're really cool. There aren't too many of them that I own, but the ones that I have all been made by these lovely LEGO creators and Star Wars geeks like myself. And if you're interested in getting into LEGO customs, I highly recommend checking them out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little showcase. I know it's not a gaming video like usual, but I figured I'd present some of my favorite Star Wars stuff for Star Wars Day, since I love the universe so much. I hope it was entertaining, and I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess.